Hey, honey, how you doing? So I want to talk about indecision and how indecision can really cost you years and years of your life. So, and unfortunately, through your growing years, you were in some ways forced to try to impress. And unfortunately, no matter how much you try to impress, it never seemed to win. And so all these decisions that you made in your early years would never, uh, never is not a good word, uh, would often lead to what? Failed results. And so what that eventually did was condition you to not trust your own decisions. And I went through the same thing. I had the same thing with grandma. I didn't realize it, but that's the only place this could have come from with me. It'll cost years and years of unhappiness to not make a decision. And what happens is there's something way deep inside of us, where we really want this, we really want something, and we're focused on it. And then when we come to that cusp of actually doing it, we'll back off and take a total reversal. And that, I'm not sure how to overcome that except by sheer brute force of your will and your drive to say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I find it a lot that affirmations, repeating to yourself over and over and over again that I can do this, it helps to some degree, but to the bigger degree is once you get out of the circumstance you don't want is to not put yourself back into it. And sometimes that's kind of hard because we don't necessarily trust ourselves. So, and that's the only thing we're really comfortable knowing is whatever circumstance that we know how to navigate indecision, if that's a good way of putting it. It's a tough thing to get over, but it's something to be really aware of, and how your happiness depends on deciding and making decisions based on what you know is the right thing. I mean, we have impulses, right? And sometimes these impulses will lead us into something that feels good for the moment, like maybe buying something, but end up feeling regret about it later. And so that's where a simple thing, a brute force, has to come in and say, I don't need this now. I'm not going to buy it right now. And it's just awareness. But in a bigger picture, it's becoming aware of what we don't want and why we seem to be locked into it. It can be a lifelong battle until you get into the situation that you do want, and being aware of who you are and how we can sometimes upset that situations. So indecision is really, as you already know, a really tough place to be, and it's all because we don't trust ourselves. And the thing is to trust yourself. If you've been in this mode of this is what you want, and you've reasoned it out, you understand it, and then you get down to your feeling, and your feeling is, I have to do this. And you're afraid, at the last minute, you're afraid to actually take the leap, then that's something that you have to leap. You just have to trust your judgment, your impulse, your instinct on that one, because you've already worked it. And unfortunately, what we'll do is when we get to that moment, we'll quickly rationalize ourselves out of it. I've done it many times where I wanted something, and when I got right to it, then I backed out. And it's a really rotten feeling to do that, to take 180 over something that you've been wanting to do, and then you feel this stress and this pressure from making this choice. And then we kind of resign ourselves to, okay, well, I guess that's what I'm going to do now because that's what I said. You have the right to change your mind. You have the right to do another 180. And I guess often that's tough because we have these like morals that we have to think we have to stick by, and we don't. The only person you have to make happy is you, and so we have to just get okay with making other people unhappy. They'll get over it. They just do. We're afraid of that conflict that's going to come when we make that choice, and unfortunately, that fear can become so like that, where it can, like I said, just stop us from doing what the right thing is. So I want to try to press home here that let that thing happen, because we have these dreams that we want and we don't go after them. We try to go after them, then all of a sudden we pull out of it. You're like, what the fuck is up? We'll be okay on the other side. We have plenty of people around that care about us and will help us out. And I think we feel like, well, I'm not sure what we feel in that case, except that we're just not necessarily aware. And what happens is you start to get to my age and you're going, shit, I'm running out of time to go have this fun. Whatever you choose to do and where you're at in life right now, and you're not happy with it, and you're exercising your fundamental right to be happy by changing the circumstance, do it. You have my permission to do it. Go after it. Own who you are. And if you gotta do like me and just keep your ass single, then do it. Because as much as I don't want to be single, I just want to take my time for now and be with me, and it's not always easy. But learning how to be inside of our own skin and learning how to navigate our decisions. The growing process never ends. The good thing is you're a lot more self-aware than I was at your age. And you're a lot more self-aware than a lot of people are at your age. It's being aware of that unhappy thing inside of you that seems to keep festering no matter what accomplishments you make. It's because you're not in touch with that part in you and giving yourself permission to be the full you that you can be. And the thing I fell short on was ensuring that you were protected to be able to experience that and feel the self-respect enough to have that. And that always, something that always sits on me. In other ways, that there are perks to it too. There's benefits that you would not have experienced otherwise. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. And if we resent and regret what has been, then we keep ourselves from growing. Right now, I'm at a place where I'm quitting work and going to go to Pennsylvania, and at the last minute, I backed out. And so really what I have to do, because I've been wanting to do this for 3, 4, 5 months now, is just do it and trust that I'll be okay. I have to trust it. Because what I'm doing is not trusting it, and by not trusting my true inner desire, I'm costing myself peace. And that's not a good thing to have. That's not worth the price. When I traveled out west last time, I came across a woman who was 34 years old. She had a heart attack, and she finally said, fuck it. And she went for what she wanted. And she was so happy. So, yeah, I just want to stress so much to you. Listen to your emotion, and your emotion is going to tell you whether you feel good or bad about a subject. And it's really not about, the emotions are never about items, right? If it's, I mean, I'll use something stupid as a spontaneous purchase, or I'm talking more about emotional interactions with other people and your connection with them, and whether it's a positive connection or negative connection. And at this recording, you are in an environment where you don't get good support, and that is a reflection of the environment that you grew up in. Now, we can be mad at that environment that you grew up in, but there's nothing that we can do about that. What you can do is realize that that's just like this inner belief, this inner story that you're not worthy of being treated with respect, because that story was written by people like me and your stepmom and your real mom. That's not your story. So they're lies. Your story is you're totally worth the self-respect that you want, and are entitled to have it and entitled to pursue it in whatever way you want to do it. So, my dear sunshine, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you, and I hope that this and the other videos help you navigate life when I can't be there to help you navigate it. Because I know that a lot of times we have these things inside of us, these feelings inside of us, and we don't know how to express it. And even to me, it just, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. You just have these feelings, and you don't know how to say it. It's there, but you don't know how to say it. So I'm hoping that these videos will help navigate that somehow. I love you so much. Peace, girl. Kisses to you.